Hi everyone, this is Jarle from Handmade Card Happy Heart. Thank you for joining me today. I recently bought the Foilpress machine from Gemini since I saw lots of cards with hot foiling and it's been on my wish list forever. So a few weeks ago I finally took the plunge and bought myself the Gemini Foilpress. So here in this video I kind of want to show you my first impressions with this machine. I will be foiling on 3 types of cardstock. So here I will show you the first 2 types of cardstock. That white one is from Concord and Ninth, and then the dark gray one is from Bazzil. To get a very good comparison between the 2 cardstocks, I am using the hot foil plate of Pinkfresh Studio. So here I am showing you how the process went. So I'm actually using the hinge methods I learned from Jana Smakula. So I am taping my cardstock to the hot foil plate with some purple tape. I already cut my foil, my hot foil, to the correct size. My machine was warming up, and meanwhile I kind of did all the preparations for my cards. So cutting the foil and placing my cardstock on the plate. So my machine was hot enough at this point, so I placed the hot foil plate onto the platform with the cardstock on top. Then I put down my plate on top of that, like this, and then I pressed start. The guide that comes with the machine tells you exactly how much time is needed to warm up the hot foil plate. So here my timer went off, so I placed my foil with the pretty side down to that foil plate. I pressed that down, made sure the placement was correct so that all the images would transfer. Then I placed my shim or my plates on top and went through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. So now it should have transferred because of heat and because of pressure. I was a little bit scared of my hot plate, but with this method a low temperature was enough, so it wasn't that hot. And here I am peeling off my hot foil, and as you can see you get a really nice result. I love this. It's also kind of debossed in the paper. What I really like about this machine is that it debosses also, so it doesn't just transfer the foil, but it also debosses. So now I'm doing the same thing with my Concord and Ninth cardstock, that white one, just to see if there was a difference in type of cardstock. And I did want to mention that the Concord and Ninth cardstock was much smoother than the Bazzil one. So I thought, or I found I had better results with that Concord and Ninth cardstock. So here you can see both the results. It gives a very different results, of course, when you use hot foiling over a darker cardstock or just a plain white cardstock. But I will be coloring that later on in this video. But as you can see here, this cardstock from Concord and Ninth is really smooth and I actually love it. Here off camera, I foiled another type of cardstock. Here I used the Sage Leaf from Fawn cardstock. Also, this cardstock also gave very good results. I think the Concord and Ninth was the best, with on the second place the Fawn cardstock, and the third one the Bazzil cardstock. Here I just wanted to show you how I colored this white card panel. I used the layering stencils of Pinkfresh Studio to ink blend the color onto this card. And I used my new Concord and Ninth dye inks for this. I think it was about one of the first times that I actually used them. But I did really find those colors amazing. They were very, very bright. They went on very, very smoothly. So I kind of like them. I think I will be using them a lot more in the future. So here I'm just pointing out which colors I used for this card. So I went with a pink shade and then with a blue-green shade as well. For the darkest cardstock, for the darkest panel, I wanted to color them in with my Polychromos colored pencils. And I'm just showing you here which colors I used for my blue-green color combo. When I color with colored pencils, I always tend to use the same methods. I always go in with my white pencil first to highlight a few areas of my image, as you can see here. I think my white pencil is my most used one. Then I start my shading with my medium color. So I have my medium color and then I go in the shadow areas with this medium color. Then I blend that medium color out with my lighter color, but I don't color the image quite yet. I just color it a little bit, I just blend it out at this moment. And then after that I go in with my darkest shade again for the shadows, to deepen the shadows, like so. And then after that I will go in with my medium color and blend this out a little bit more over my whole image. And after that medium color I go in again with my lightest color, my lightest shade, and then I color the whole image. So there's a good gradient between darkest, medium and light. So here you can see the results. I won't show you the whole coloring process in this video, since I always use the same methods. So here I'm just going over everything again with dark, medium and light to get a more smooth coloring. So that's what I did for all my blue or blue-green images. And then I just do the same one, or I just do the same thing with my green pencils. So here you can see the color combinations again from my Polychromos pencils. So again, going in with a white pencil first to get a little bit more of a highlight. Then I use my medium color, blend it out with my lighter color, but not coloring the whole image at this point yet. You always want to make sure that your pencils are quite sharp. This really gives the best results for colored pencils. So going back and forth, darkest, medium and light color. I've tried different methods in the past, but I believe that this one works best for me to get the best kind of shading possible. I'm not the greatest colorer, but this seems to work for me. So here is a look at the finished coloring. As you can see, the foiling gave a pretty good result. Really liked how this turned out. I do have to mention that I did have to go over a few overfoiling areas with a dry brush, but I could easily brush that away. But the overfoiling happens more with the not so smooth cardstock of Bazzil in comparison with the Lawn Fawn and the Concord & Ninth. But I do want to mention that overfoiling was pretty minimal, so I will be using Bazzil cardstock again in the future for this, because they also have pretty colors, so I will be definitely using this paper more often. Bazzil cardstock is also quite good to use when you want to do colored pencil coloring. Just because it's not as smooth of a cardstock, it has a little bit of tooth to it. So the pencil or the color really does stick to the cardstock pretty nicely. So here I am mounting my card panels onto a white card base. I used some foam for this, so it gives a little bit of dimension. Really, guys, you can't, or the camera can't quite catch all the shimmer and shine in this card. It's really, really pretty. Here I attached a sentiment, a hot foil sentiment inside of the card. And here you can see both finished cards. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.